You're right, Gangrene UK. Episode 8 here. Ant here, joined with Otis and Kane. They're the two children you see on the screen just with me. And it's been a while since we've been on. We've had a little bit of a hiatus. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a little chat about OTAs, see what's been going on. Obviously, we're all underprepared because that's how we roll. We just wing it and let's see what happens. So, guys, welcome back after our break. How are you feeling? What have you seen? Don't both jump at me at once.
Seen two things. Elijah Moore's fast and can catch the ball. Mackay Becton's fat. That's it. That's all I know.
Right, so let's start with the Mackay. So what have you heard?
Rumours that he's coming slightly overweight, but then Salah sort of said, no, it's okay. He's finding his playing weight. We're happy with him. Don't worry about it. But it's sort of, I think it's probably being perceived to the media differently to potentially what it is inside the building and what he's actually saying to Mackay.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on it, Ken?
It's probably true. He's a bit overweight, but he's just got to work on it anyway. It's got time.
Absolutely. Now, the way it's kind of coming across, right, in my opinion, obviously, very opinionated here. Mackay came out of college with a weight issue. Mackay had a diet problem in college. He's come back heavier this year. He's also faster and stronger. That is going to put some weight onto you. Now, the thing that you were talking about, Otis, there with Salah saying, they asked him what his weight was, and he went, I don't know, it's somewhere between 320 and 340. And they were like, well, you don't know. He went, yeah, we know, but we don't know where is best for him. So he's came in at what he's at. Now, he may have put on more muscle, which has slowed him down, which is what's damaging his feet. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to find out what his weight is. So I agree with that term, what you said, Otis. It's more going to be finding his playing weight and making him comfortable playing at that weight. Give him a few weeks off. Let him get over this planter's foot or whatever he's got, which can be nasty. It can take a while to get over. But I'm not worried about Mackay Becton. He was a big mofo last year. He's going to be a big mofo this year. And you know what? He's protecting the blind side. We need a big mofo. He's going to be all right.
I don't. Go on.
What injury did he have last year?
Shoulder. Pectoral shoulder area, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was his pec, wasn't it?
Left-hand side.
Because we haven't heard nothing about that, really.
I'm pretty sure it didn't require surgery. I'm pretty sure he just rested up and healed up. I think he's fine. The other thing I was going to say was, like, they're talking about his weight, and I understand he's between sort of 320, 340. That's the sort of area they've said he's in. But he played at Louisville at about 360. So he's not massively overweight. It's not like he's come in at 400 and gone, oh my God, we need to lose 50 pounds here. If he is slightly overweight, it's only probably because they've asked him to come in at 300 and he might have come in at 320, or they've asked him to come in at 320, he's coming in at 340. Ideally, I'd like to see him closer to the 320 than 360. I think 320 for a big offensive lineman is pretty efficient. You know, he's got the frame to carry it after all. And there isn't many offensive linemen in the NFL that are less than 320 anyway. Like 320 for a big left tackle isn't huge, really, especially for his height and build. It's not like he's a 6 foot left tackle, is it? He's a 6'7" left tackle. So a bit of weight's not an issue.
Yeah, I love the photo that came out last week of Becton walking with Vera Tucker, and then Zach was behind them, and all you could see was like the little tip of his helmet over Vera Tucker's shoulder. And it was like Elijah Vera Tucker, 6'3", Zach Wilson, 6'2", Mackay Becton, big.
The picture of Vera Tucker next to Wilson is what most normal people look like next to children. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just to see a grown man stood next to another grown man and go, what's the kid doing on the field? It was just like, this is stupid. It's mad.
I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing that duo. I hope Mackay comes back quickly and he gets his time in camp. Like we always kind of overlook it because he had a good rookie year, but he had no preseason last year.
Mhm.
Like he's learning on the fly still, and he's doing well. I'm good on that. And then obviously you mentioned everybody's new favourite toy, Elijah Moore, that fast bad man.
Mhm.
Ankles at camp. I mean, I've heard rumours that they haven't seen Roots ran that good from a rookie since like the early days of like OBJ and people like that who came into the league and really shone.
Yeah.
I mean, there has been compares to tonight's big news of Julio. I mean, if we could get a little rookie Julio on a second round contract, I mean, I'm all over that.
Can't complain.
I'm very pleased to see the reports coming out that he's good. I always get a bit concerned when reports start coming out about this is about wide receivers this early on in camp. They haven't got pads on. They're not being hit really. They're probably getting free releases most of the time. They're not going to be jamming each other up and being real physical at the line. So in all likelihood, he's getting releases better than he's going to see in the NFL. But just to hear the fact that he's getting in and out of routes well, he's not dropping balls, he's getting separation at the top of routes. That's as much as you can ask at the moment, I think.
The fact that news come out today about Crowder, how we've asked him to restructure his contract, that kind of means that they've got big hopes for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, the question on the restructure, right, is that freeing up money for Marcus May, or is it freeing up money for Moses as a backup if the Mackay injury doesn't get better easier? So then we've got Fant and Moses to cover for Becton. So this money could go either way. Now, I don't honestly believe Crowder's going to renegotiate.
No.
I can see a very average trade come in to free up some cap. Thoughts?
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, and I think the spin to put on that, in my opinion, is why would you agree to restructure and lower your salary implications when you're playing brilliantly? Like Crowder's been on the Jets 2 years now. At no point in the last 2 years has the Jets fan gone, we need a slot receiver because he's not very good. He's been brilliant the entire time he's been with us. This isn't like we're talking about a guy that's got a ridiculous cap number that doesn't deserve it. 10 million for a slot receiver. Yeah, it's up there, but it's not ridiculous. There's a lot of other teams that are paying a lot more for third receivers. Let's look at Tampa Bay with Goodwin on a franchise tag. I think that's 14 million. It's not like he's on. It's not like he's on bad money for the team. And I think it's a bit possibly short-sighted to let him go as well. I'd be disappointed if the Jets let a good player, a good leader, a good example on the field walk out the building. This is a guy that's going to help Moore. It's a guy that's going to help Davis. He's going to help Mims. He's been in the league a long time. I'm a bit miffed as to why we'd let him go on the cheap. I think it might have to be the option, but it'll be a bit sad if it does happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, go on, Ken.
I was just going to say I was excited for Crowder and Moore in the slot, and then Mims and Corey on the out.
Yeah,
mad.
I would be very, very happy to keep him. He's been the number one receiver for 2 years. The numbers he puts up, and like you said, what he brings to the locker room, you don't get from having a rookie. So it will be good to keep him, but I don't think he'll restructure. Or if he does, it'll be something a bit different because obviously, I think, is he a free agent at the end of the year?
Yeah, I'd rather, instead of calling it a restructure, I'd rather turn around and say, right, we'll extend you.
Yeah,
and sort of go.
Extend him 2 years, drop 8 million down to 6 or 5, and then back end it when we know the cap's going up in 2 years' time.
Yeah. I'd be very happy if they restructured him for another 2 years, put him onto a 5 million base this year, and maybe made the next 2 years 12 million or 8 and then 15 even. The issue with that is that he'll probably want something guaranteed because of the fact that obviously he's delaying it all for the team, which then makes it a bit more difficult later down the line, I suppose. But
and at the same time, we could just go out and draft another slot receiver next year. One of our 2 picks.
And you've got Keelan Cole as well that can play inside and outside if he does well, and Mims does. I've lost my train of thought.
Moore or Crowder doesn't.
And Crowder goes, you can put Cole to play there anyway.
We've got Barrios
play
as
down
well.
outside. And you've got Barrios as well.
Yeah. And then some other things to come out of OTAs, especially week 1, Corey Davis's shoulder.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, I'm looking at the report saying it's not seen to be majorly serious, but it will require time off.
Just a bad landing, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah. So I think what they've said is that as he's landed, he's extended his shoulder, so he's pulled the muscles on the rotator. Could have been a lot worse. So we're quite fortunate because, like we say, we're very excited to see what he brings. Denzel Mims has been out for a few days with a non-COVID illness. It's not his hamstring, boys. That's
people
fine.
get ill, don't they? Yeah, people get
absolutely. But it was just worth mentioning because I know a few people have brought up that he's missed some more training, but it is just an illness. It's not anything major to look at. And just on one of the other reports that Coach Salah's mentioned that a lot of these are young, big guys, and Mackay is a young, massive guy. So some of the issues are just for the fact that he is still very young and learning on a day-to-day, which, like we all said, it's very, very comforting to know that he's in a good place.
Look how good he did the first year. Imagine the second year.
Yeah, and when you look at the bad bits of Mackay in the first season, which he did have a few players where we're like, oh, you can tell he's a rookie. I can remember me and you was on a chat and we were like, oh, that was bad. Oh, that was bad. As long as we don't get many of them, I think he can only get better.
I think the understanding of the new system's the big thing for him. I want to make, I don't mind if he's a bit banged up and he needs a bit of time, absolutely fine. But let's have him on site. Let's have him going through the offensive playbook still. Let's have him learning this new zone scheme because it's going to require him to be fully up to speed. Because if you miss an assignment in a zone scheme, the hole you leave for somebody to come through is massive and somebody will get lit up very big. Providing he's in there learning his assignment, providing he's in there doing what weights he can, top half or whatever you want to say, fine. By all means, take the time you need. You're a big guy. Let's get you healthy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it'd be good for him having Vera Tucker there, like them two just being on that one side together.
It'll be good if they can get the chemistry. If they can, even when he's a bit banged up, if they can be next to each other on the sideline, talking about the last play, talking about the next play, whatever else, it'll just help them both. And the sooner the back out, he's back out, the better.
Yeah.
Someone I have seen.
Oh, sorry. No, go. Go. I was going off subject.
I was going to say someone I have seen a little bit of. That's fine. Someone I have seen a little bit about was Michael Carter, the running back.
He's
a lot of people saying that he looks exceedingly good.
He's just signed officially today. It'll have been Friday he signed officially, which great news. He's actually a Jet now. He can't pull out. And he's been doing some really good stuff. I mean, Mike LaFleur has said that he really believes in the room. He doesn't think he needs to add anything, which I think that's a massive credit to them.
Yeah.
I think Carter's done better than they expected, actually. When you see some of the stuff they've been saying about him, when you see some of the videos that he's been working in, his footwork looks even better than I thought. When you see him sort of doing some of these bounce cuts and things that he's doing to get uphill quickly, it's been pretty impressive. And he looks stronger than I thought. I don't know. I'd got this impression that he was going to be all speed, not so much strength. But his lower half, when you see him running and you see him in pictures and things, his lower half of his body is built. He's going to be a unit to bring down.
It's quite explosive, isn't it? It just carries on running.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think when you see him drop his
shoulder, it's going to be nice.
Not being contact. Him dropping that shoulder has been brilliant to see because you can see that he's ready to put them pads on and actually get in. Now, I did see something really interesting about Pirine. Obviously, he's doing good stuff in camp. Everybody seems to be happy. But the signing of Pirine, allegedly, obviously, this is just what I'm reading and seeing on different mediums, was all Gase.
The drafting, you mean? Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So like all of the reports and everything were on Gase's behalf because Gase believed he fit his system. Now, the Shanahan offense is known for bringing obscure running backs to the forefront. Hopefully, there's room for Pirine in it. I mean, he seems to be doing good at camp.
I think the Thunder and Lightning back option is good. He had it in Washington. He's had it in San Fran to a certain extent. They've had some bigger backs in Washington at times when he was there, and also in San Fran. I think Thunder and Lightning will be fine. And when you look at Green Bay's offense, obviously the brother of our OC, he uses Thunder and Lightning. You've got Jamal Williams and
the other one,
Aaron James, is it, or whatever his name is? I can't think of his name now. Off the top of my head.
Jones or James, isn't it?
Jones, that's it. Aaron Jones, that's it. So you've got Thunder and Lightning there, and they use that to great effect. We've all been talking about how good Green Bay's backfield looks. And at times they were using 3 running backs last year when you've got AJ Dillon in the fold as well. So I don't think I'd be surprised to see P. Ryan, Carter, T. Johnson, or Coleman. I think Coleman will be the odd man out by the end potentially.
Yeah,
well, that would be the aim, and you keep him on as that security backup. I mean, let's face it, he hasn't played a lot of football in the last 2 years.
The bit I think you keep Coleman for me, and this might be a little bit harsh, but I think it's also fair, is that if one of the rookies or P. Ryan as a second year back and TY as a second year back doesn't pick up pass pro very well straight away, Coleman's been in this system. You know that he knows how to pass pro. If you've got an obvious third down, you're going to have to pass and you want to give Wilson a bit more time, bringing in Coleman might be the safe option because the rookie might not know how to block for him just yet, or P. Ryan or Johnson might not have picked it up yet. The last thing you want is a free rusher coming and taking Zach's head off. If Coleman's in there, perhaps that'll be the reason. But I can't see him being a running option too much.
No.
Yeah. Well, I'm quite excited to see this hybrid Shanahan meets Green Bay Packers offensive little love child that we've got going on.
Love child.
No, it's kind of the way that it's rolling, isn't it? So anything else that's kind of like popped up over the off season would have to be these team activities. How are we feeling about seeing the guys at hockey games, at basketball? I mean, if they all go out for pizza without me, I'm going to feel really upset. I think I'm going to have to order a Domino's and eat it while watching them. It's got me really hyped.
It's the first time in ages it's happened. I think the last time it happened, Mangold was on the team. So
it was sexy Rexy time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I feel like I've been listening to quite a lot of reports from the States on a few podcasts, and Robbie Sabo was on, and he was saying he's been at some of the OTAs, and he went, Salah is so engaging, and it's been such a big change. What's been happening is like when the team are like out stretching and warming up, Salah's going along having a joke and a chat with them. He's connecting and he's making them want to play. But then he finishes with them and he goes over and has a chat to the media and he's like having a laugh. And then he goes back in and gets involved. Everybody is connected in what he's doing.
Yeah.
And then that's coming through when we see them out at the Islanders game, which Dan Feeney is a dude.
The whole environment that he's bringing does really remind me of Rex. We said it on here when we first hired him. I think that was who I said he reminded me of. And it hasn't changed. Let's have a defense that smashes you in the face. Let's have an offense that can use running backs, a bit of play action. There's going to be some screens and bits in there for wide receivers. It's probably not going to be an offensive year one that's going to ask Wilson to throw it 30, 35 times a game. They're going to aim to run it that many times potentially. But that's fine. Protect the rookie. It makes sense. And also, as you say, they're out together. They're mingling. He's very good with the media. It all sort of harks back to me to when the Jets were last relevant, I guess, which was with Rex and sort of seeing what they did there.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's all chemistry, isn't it? Building that chemistry.
I mean, it's an exciting time to be a Jet, and we haven't had many over the last decade. Everybody seems to be getting excited for us, which is amazing. I had a chat the other day with some Vikings fans, and they were so stoked for us. And I was like, I would love to say I'm the same, but I'm just happy you guys took Kirk Cousins. But yeah, it's one of them where I feel like we're in a good place. Hopefully everybody else feels like they're in a good place. And I'm just getting excited to like ride the wave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice to be on the crest of some positivity, isn't it? Going forward with some hope again.
It's
Absolutely.
weird. Other teams having hope for us as well.
Yeah.
I
think there's one other player I can think of that should be potentially mentioned. A guy that played 3 quarters for us, 2 quarters for us, got injured, missed a year, sat out, missed a year, and everyone's going, oh dear, is he going to be the same? We paid this guy a lot of money. From every report I've seen so far, and I think you guys are probably the same, they reckon CJ Mosley looks like CJ Mosley.
CJ Mosley looks like an absolute demon. By all accounts. Now, one thing we can mention about Mosley, he played 3 quarters of football.
Yeah.
He has a pick, a return for a touchdown, and 2 sacks. That's more than Blake Cashman had in 16 games.
Yeah.
So even if we get him back for 1 game, he's going to do more than Cashman.
Yeah.
The bit I'm excited about having him back for more than necessarily the numbers that he puts on the stat line. Yes, it's great to have a linebacker that can do that. It's having that leader again. I think it's going to take the pressure off Marcus May to actually go and play. He can still be in charge of the DBs. That's fine. Go and do the bit with you guys at the back. But let's let Mosley run his 3 linebackers and his 4D linemen. Mosley's going to see exactly what's in front of him. He's got 2 guys next to him, potentially left and right, and he's going to have 4 guys with the hand and the dirt in front of him. Or let him tell them what adjustments they need. Let him lead those 7 up front and let him go wreak havoc, because he will. Given the chance, he will wreak havoc again. And he's. I think the nicest thing about Mosley is that he left Baltimore as easily regarded the best linebacker in football, I think, by certainly most people anyway. Come to the Jets and everyone was like, great signing. Okay, they paid a lot for him, but he's going to be brilliant. He's come back and he's already said he's got a point to prove. He wants to prove that he's still CJ Mosley. And I think that's exciting.
The wording was, right, not to be pedantic, but he was asked if he had something to prove and he said no, but I've still got stuff to accomplish.
That's it.
So it was that thing of, you know what? No, I'm not out to prove any haters wrong, but there's still stuff I want to do in football.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do it. And that was one of those things that, like, you're hearing it and you get like goosebumps because you're like, oh, he means it. And then you just want to go and run through a wall with him.
It's also going to be a mentality that he can bring to the huddle and that will buy in brilliantly with Salah. I think if he gives Salah the next, even if it's only 3 years, let's call it, he does 3 years and goes off into the sunset maybe. If he gives that Salah for 3 years, this defense will be nasty.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it was good to have a catch up with you guys. Obviously, we'll have another catch up really shortly. And thanks for listening in, guys. And catch us on episode 9 coming soon.